Actually, really quick, I want to talk about the backside flip down Love Gap.
Oh, yeah.
Where Josh Kalis bet you $100
Yeah.
that you could do it, and you did in 3 tries.
I
That's
think
what
it
he
was 4.
says.
I think it was 4.
Either way,
That's gnarly.
It was under 6 tries. I don't know where it was. I did it fast, and he pulled out 2 $50 bills, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like, I make none money. You know what I mean? Like, and this dude pulls out 2 50s. Like, you never see 50s.
Yeah. Right.
You know. Now you never see dollars, but like at that point, I was just like, "Damn, this dude's rich."
wow. And you switch frontside flip it the same day too?
Yes, same day. I went there to switch frontside flip it, and and it was the second day that I tried to switch frontside flip it because cops came the first day and I broke my board and the cops came and stuff, and then the second day I went back. That gap sucks. It's like it's really cool, but you see, like I'm not clearing it by a lot.
Right.
You know, like
long.
normally you try to land gap tricks like an airplane, right? You're not trying to just go straight down. You try to like smooth it out, right? So it's not as much impact. And like I'm barely making it into that fountain. And if there was a drop of water,
You'd slip out.
it was insane. It was the slickest ground.
So he paid you.
Yeah, he paid me.
Paid up.
Like right then.
Wow.
I mean, thank God, right then. I would never have asked him for it.
Could you imagine the next day, like, yo, Josh, like,
where's some of that money?
What's up with that hundo?
Also, the wrist cuff that I'm wearing when I do that backside flip, that's from the Jamie Thomas Circle line.
That one right there.
Yeah. You betcha.
I love it, man.
Jamie, did you ever offer money for tricks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I came from the school of Rocco.
Yes, that was it, huh?
And I saw money not as like the motivator, but it was to distract people from whatever it is they were stuck on. Sometimes people would get stuck thinking about something too much or trying too hard, and the money would be just a distraction and let them do what they were there to do. Sometimes I had to pay. Sometimes I would strategically offer the money and I would gamble on how many tries. So Kane Gale front blunt and misled youth. I think I offered him, I don't know how much money it was, but I gave him 10 tries. And I thought to myself, he does front blunt forward. And I thought to myself, I don't know if maybe it was 5 tries. I don't know if it's doable in 5 tries. It might have been like $1,000. Like, yo, I'll give you $1,000 if you can do this in 5 tries. We'll put it in the friend section in slow-mo. So it was like a deal. I was making a contract deal.
This guy's not even on your team or anything.
He's not on the team, but he was rolling up to front blunts and wanted to do it. And I knew Kane Gale could do it. And I was like just there filming it. And I was like, this would be dope. In the friend section, Kane and I have skated together, since like the early days before my career was even popping. So I was like, I'll give you $1,000, 5 tries. And I think he made it like 7th try. Wow. So that's the best case scenario because it gave him the motivation to get over the hump, but he didn't have to take $1,000 and I didn't have to give him $1,000, but he still got the slow-mo trick in the video, 2 angles. I went up for one, filmed one fish high, he landed on it, and then I got on the van and filmed it right away, long lens. So I was able to film 2 angles in the same day by myself.
Amazing. I mean, you could have bought that trick for like 200.
Maybe, but at the time it was the biggest front blunt ever done.
It's really good.
Let's watch it. Where is it?
Like if I think about Kane Gale had a really good backside
Point
flip,
low morale,
and he has this front blunt.
See how it fades right here?
Oh.
There's no filmer there. But you see how black his shirt is? My man's went in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then Kane was so sick, dude.
Watch how dope he does this.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wow. So at the time that was so just to familiarize yourself. Yeah, don't go all the way back to your trick.
We're trying.
I know you want to. At any rate, this was the biggest. I have a front blunt in my part down a 10 stair at the Bricks. And that was the biggest front blunt. And this was after that. And I knew it was the biggest front blunt ever done.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was just offering him money for something, whatever trick.
Yeah.
I knew he was setting a title. So anyway, but other than that, even back to the Cole at Wallenberg, New Blood was on like what was it, weekend, right? And yeah, it was a weekend, of course, because
You can only skate that on the weekends, pretty much.
Yeah, we were there on the weekend, and the premiere was 5 days away. It was on a Sunday. Premiere was 5 days away. He'd looked into flights to fly his wife out, and they were like $1,000 or something crazy. Anyway, I used to take, or no, I still kind of do, take my role at the session when someone's doing something is to try and help them break down whatever it is, whatever obstacle's in the way so they can overcome that obstacle and they do what they need to do. I obviously was at Wallenberg, and I was filming the low angle of the 3-flip, and Mike Gilbert was filming on top of the van. At any rate, we had gone through all the different like scenarios of how to keep him going, because 68 tries jumping down Wallenberg in one day is insane.
I don't even understand how you did that.
I don't know that anybody's ever jumped down it that many times.
Yeah.
And so I think that what was on the line, here for him is he'd already tried it at the Wallenberg contest and hadn't made it, and then knew the potential was there, and this was the last weekend for the video.
You guys had the roll in already there too?
Yeah, we had a roll in.
The funny thing is they've repaved Wallenberg since, the top and bottom. If you like, I don't know if you can see it in the footage, but right before you pop, it goes down.
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
down, right? And so for about 63-ish tries, I was popping before that. And so I was just killing myself trying to pop before that crack. And then the last 5 goes, I just rode through it and just tried, and I made it in 5.
Yeah, I mean, you really clicked on the very edge right there.
Definitely did.
So my point is that the last try or the last few tries, I was like, look, we got your wife a ticket. It's all good. You make this. You guys will be at this premiere in 4 or 5 days together. This will be amazing. You got it, Cole. You got it. And it was the exact thing he needed to blank out. He went up and did it.
I did actually black out.
Yeah.
You did.
Like, I don't remember doing it because I wasn't home for it. Like, I remember, like, I rode up to it. I blacked out. I remember riding away. And I was like, I'm riding away.
Yeah.
That's the
But
best.
that's happened
That is the
a
best.
couple times, and like I wondered what it was. And I talked to a therapist about it. And they're like, "That's just extreme stress."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Huberman came on our show,
Yeah.
talked about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it works. So that back to the offering cash for
Yeah.
tricks. I use it when it makes sense.
Yeah.
Some people are offended by it. Some people are like, dude, I do not need your money.
Oh,
dude."
David Reyes.
Yeah,
You can't-
right.
Don't offer him money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't work like that.
It
But
distracts
other
him.
people. But I like to do, and this is one that started getting thrown around with Ian Berry at the backside 3-flip down Carlsbad. He said, if you make it today, because I went back 12 times to get that trick.
Get him.
And he's like, if you make it today, I'll get a stick figure sequence of it tattooed on me. And I was like, that is brilliant. I didn't make it that day, but since then I've taken that and I use James Hardy's nollie tray flip over the handrail into the bank.
Oh, yeah.
The best nollie tray flip ever done.
Yeah,
right?
so that was amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
I use that as my like, if you do it, I will get James Hardy's nollie tray flip tattooed on me, just because I want James Hardy's nollie tray flip tattooed on me.
You're offering something you already want.
I know.
Yeah, I'm giving a bowling ball with Homer on it. You know.
You just want somebody to land something so you could get this tattoo.
Yeah, and at the end of the session, I just throw my board. I'm just like, I'm going to the tattoo shop anyway.
I know what I'm offering next trick you're trying.
There you go. There you go.
What's the most
To pay
money
for the
bet
tattoo.
on a trick?
Ooh.
I don't think I've ever offered over 1,000, but I've offered 1,000 a lot of times.
Yeah. Have you given it away a lot of times?
Probably like 5. I don't know if I can think of all of them, but definitely. And I've put bounties on tricks before too, like Phelps back in the day. Like Dane told me he wanted a hard flip El Toro, and he went there a couple times and tried, and I was just like $1,000 from now till eternity.
on the table?
That's on the board.
It's always there.
And he thought about it for a lot of years, but I think eventually the money idea fades. I mean, it's not really worth it if you're going to get broke off, or if you're not feeling it, or if it's also so much emotional and mental and physical stress that it helps to be spur of the moment. Like, you're there, you're looking at it, you want to do it anyway. Kitey's heel flip front board, I think I offered him $500.
On the 16?
Yeah, he did it first try.
That kid's incredible, man.
Yeah,
He
he's
did it first
incredible.
try after 3 hours of riding up to
Yeah.
it and doing 1,000 of them on the 12. Every single go, you'd be down at the bottom of the 16 and you'd hear his tail hit, you'd hear the slide, and you'd hear the land. And then he'd come up and he'd ride up to the 16, and then he'd go back, you'd hear it, and he landed it again.
Wow.
And he comes
Wow.
back, and then you hear it, he landed it again. He did, I don't know how many he did, but he did a lot. Like so many. A record amount of heel flip front boards on that 12. And it's just like, that's just the 12.
He's
You know
not.
what I mean?
He's not exaggerating. He probably did 30 to 50 heel flip front boards. On the,
Jeez.
Seriously,
on the
it
12.
was 3 hours. Imagine
Yeah.
3 hours of going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he finally got the courage to try. And the reason for that is that he had tried to heel flip front board the 16 a week before and dark slid it, and then got pitched to his back. And
I
he's
got
not,
that footage.
He's not a real thick human to take that level of a hit. So
goodness.
he got pretty broke and he was feeling it. His back was sore for like a week. But he did it first try. Took the $500.
Wow.
That's
I mean, he
pretty
didn't
cool.
he didn't care about the money. It was just a bonus. You know,
For
usually
sure.
the money is just a bonus. It's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand the distraction though, because like there, I mean, you could try a trick for 3 hours, 5 hours, and then there's that one thing that just kind of like focuses you on something else.
Well, it's like the cops coming or something, right? You're like,
Last
oh, no,
try.
that's right here. This is it.
Yeah.
This is-
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
actually committing right
Even
here.
taking a
Yeah.
little break, even taking a 10, 15-minute break from what you're doing can like help you kind of reset.
Yeah, it's all actually good to ride off and do a trick that you know that you can do, or just to 50-50 the rail or something like that, because you'll get into a groove. You've like carved a path of bails, and you need to like know what it's like again, to like the timing of it, the timing of falling off the rail, how long that is, and like the rhythm of it. You need to do it again, and then you're like, okay, I'm back in.
For sure. For sure.